and this is actually a golden opportunity for us to turn the table around, to quickly address or combat the dangers of flaring to the environment. And our solution entails taking the flare gas before they are burned off, feed it into our generator, and use it to generate power.
Hello and welcome to another episode of What Now? Lepak Season 5. Yes, we are currently at Season 5 of the podcast. And apparently, this is my co-host isn't here. And usually we'll start the season with both of us, but apparently he's a bit busy and, he's not here today. But it's okay. We'll still continue with the season, and we're going to start off with a very, very interesting guest. But before we move on to this very lovely person of mine, right? Let me tell you the audience about what is What Now Jom Lepak, right? So What Now Jom Lepak is a podcast that's created by me and Haziq, or Haziq and I, that wishes to share the stories of amazing Malaysians, and also try to navigate and have an impactful discourse among the youth, right? And trying to navigate the challenges that the youth are facing today, right? So we hope that we can build a community of learners and also spread unity among other Malaysians, right? Okay, so that's a little bit intro of What Now Jom Lepak, and we have a little bit of different format for this. So we're testing out with this new guest, right? Okay, so my guest here is none other than my MD, which I'm interning with. And honestly, it's a bit surreal that I'm doing it today with him. Yeah, because never expected to actually do this.
Okay.
Yeah, but please welcome Mr. Fairuz.
Hello, hi. How are we doing?
Are you doing fine? You doing fine, sir?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Really?
I'm just a bit tired because I just got back from Kota Kinabalu last night.
Yeah. How was the Sabah trip?
Sabah trip this time around has been very fruitful. This was actually my 6th trip to KK this year.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing a huge potential in the oil and gas sector in Sabah.
In Sabah.
Yes.
I see. You think it'll bring more opportunities for 2024?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm very optimistic of it.
Very optimistic.
Yeah.
Right. I heard that the food was very nice.
Something that most people don't realize when they talk about KK, most people think about seafood. But for me, I look for other things. I think there are other under appreciated food that is famous in KK that is not available elsewhere, other than seafood.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What food did you try in KK?
I would say for breakfast, my favorite is mee tuaran.
Okay.
It originates from this district called Tuaran in Sabah. And obviously the fish soup.
The fish soup.
KK, yes.
I see.
Yeah.
I heard that the banter was there in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Banter and Penang food, huh?
I wouldn't want to pick a fight with Penangat on the show. So I understand that who was that the squash. Nicole David was one of the guests on the podcast. I know she's from Penang. I don't want to pick a fight with her.
It's okay. I think Penang Nights are very opinionated with their food.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
All Malaysians are.
Oh yeah, every part of Malaysia. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's great that Sabah is great and bring a lot of potential in there.
Inshallah.
Right? Inshallah. Right. So we're bringing you Fairuz today, actually for a very particular reason.
Okay.
Right? So one of the reasons is that I'm really inspired by your story. Okay, we had a little conversation at the coffee shop, and you were telling about your story, your opinions on oil and gas and everything. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And I think I find your story very uplifting. Right? You came from, I think it's one of those stories where it's an underdog story.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, we will let the audience judge lah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tapi sebelum kita bermula podcast ni, okay, this is a Manglish podcast.
Sure.
So feel free to speak Malay, English. Kalau tahu bahasa Cina, bahasa India, sila.
Okay. I will try.
You'll try.
I will try.
Do you know any Chinese with Indian?
No, not really.
You know, not really.
I took French in secondary school, but that's about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, and then how far did you go with French?
Not very far,
Not very far.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit of French?
Comme si comme ça.
That's it? What does that mean?
Sikit-sikit.
Sikit-sikit. Alright. You must be good with the French. Nice lah.
I worked in a French-dominated company for 8 years before.
I see.
So I'm quite used to the culture.
Usually with the culture.
Yes.
Alright. That's already one opening interesting aspect from Fairuz. He worked with the French company. But tak apa, nanti kita sikit-sikit dalam ni lah. Okay. So for this first part of the podcast, we're going to talk about latar belakang Fairuz. Okay. Sebelum kita nak go deeper into the discussion ataupun nak lepak kan. Okay. Kita nak kenal siapa ni Fairuz.
Alright.
Okay. So Fairuz, tell us about your upbringing and also your worldview.
Upbringing. I originate from kampung in Terengganu. Our house is about 1 kilometer from the beach.
Oh, okay.
It's very much a kampung. Both my parents were English teachers, teaching English, and my mother was a English teacher in secondary school. My father was primary school. But this was rural Terengganu we're talking about.
Rural Terengganu.
And teaching English in Terengganu, kampung in Terengganu is no mean feat. So that's where I come from. Pretty much a typical middle class family in Malaysia. Exposed to a lot of books and newspapers and politics from a young age. So I guess that was my upbringing. And I was admitted to a boarding school in Kuala Lumpur at the age of 13. So I spent the first 12 years of my youth in Terengganu. After that, I moved elsewhere, KL, and then to UTM in Skudai to further my
Studies.
tertiary studies. Yeah.
In mechanical engineering.
Yeah, I graduated in bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. Yes. So my background is engineering.
Right.
Yes. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is we'll have to see.
Right. I see. But okay, so since your mom is an English teacher and including your father,
Yes.
right. How did you choose the pathway to become an engineer?
I just thought that at that age, I wasn't exposed to a lot of things, and I thought engineer sounds glamorous, for lack of a better word, something that is challenging. It sounds nice to the ear. I had no idea what being an engineer was about. Unlike the youth of today, they are exposed to so many things. They have more information available at their fingertips to make an informed choice about their career plans. But me back then, I especially now with where I am at the moment or at this time, with benefit of hindsight, I realized that my interest actually lies elsewhere.
Oh.
I'm actually drawn to politics and economics, but I guess having gone through the training to become an engineer has provided me with the structure in thinking and how to prepare myself for the next stage in my life. Yeah.
How do you find? So do you find engineering dull?
No, not at all. I found the studies to be extremely challenging. UTM back then was known as Universiti Tendang Menendang.
Really?
Yes, that's what UTM was jokingly known as.
Okay, why?
Because you would be able to see from the first semester a lot of the students will be kicked out for having poor grades, and I myself was almost kicked out for having poor grades in the beginning. Yeah, there was a bit of a culture shock when I started my tertiary studies.
I see.
Yeah.
Like, did you had when you first studied engineering?
Yeah.
Did you fail a lot of subjects?
I failed as well as scored poor marks in some of the other subjects. Yes. Study-wise, for me that was challenging. So that's why I guess I scraped through barely with a very poor CGPA,
I see.
which I'd rather not disclose.
I mean, it's understandable because, like, it's something a part of us that we don't want to share, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even I have background in engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's important is the action afterwards, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, like, despite having like a low CGPA, right, Fairuz,
Mm.
how did you believe in yourself to go for greater heights?
I guess I've always been a self-confident person.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can speak, and I guess when you are able to speak, people see you in a slightly different light compared
person,
to
yeah,
someone else who doesn't know
Mhm.
really how to speak. It makes you appear as if you know more than what you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the things I truly believe in, the importance of having a strong communication skills
Strong community.
will get you places,
I see.
no matter where you start. No matter where you started.
Mm-hmm. So, like, okay, were you active in university? Like, were you going to, like, were you active in public
University,
speaking?
not really, no. I played a bit of tennis in university. Had some friends. Funnily enough, most of my close friends were from the architecture faculty.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really mingle with the fellow
Engineering.
students from the engineering faculty.
I see.
I found that the architecture students were more creative.
Mm-hmm.
They had a more liberal view on life,
Mm-hmm.
and a different approach to life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see.
and I guess I enjoyed that creativity among the architecture students.
Do you think creativity is lacking in engineering, meaning back in your time?
I think that has always been the case.
For engineering.
For unfortunately, the education system in Malaysia, we don't really reward creativity or creative thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Malaysian students are expected to toe the line, think along a certain box,
Mm-hmm.
and are not encouraged to have a different
Approach.
different worldview. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that part of creativity of the architecture students made you want to, like, do something else?
No, not really. I never wavered in my ambition to finish my engineering degree, and I did. So, but I just like the camaraderie and the friendship with the architecture
I
students.
see. So, like, now moving forward to 2023,
Yeah.
do you still think that's still a problem with engineering students? Do you think there's still a lack of reward towards creativity?
I don't look at the degrees the students nowadays, but I look at more my children as well as the friends they keep in school and the stories they come back with, and I actually worry about the direction the country is taking.
Really?
Yes, I think students are expected to become more and more molded in a certain way of thinking, and I think the recent news that boarding school will no longer allow students in the social science and will focus on pure science is something that worries me.
I think, I don't know, for me, when it comes to teaching engineering, right, I think they never touched upon the history of it, as in what made engineering so cool back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like, we look back at, like, Leonardo da Vinci,
Yeah.
or we look at Tesla.
Correct.
Yeah, and then we look at the Wright brothers. If you story tell them in a way that macam they were the pioneers.
Yeah.
They were the one that
They
created
created
that, yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, they created
out of
something.
nothing, and
Yeah.
I mean contribute to a better world, a world where there are more things, more creation, more innovation.
Yeah. Maybe a bit more. This is a bit controversial, but maybe we should put Oppenheimer as a part of the discussion for engineers.
Yeah, maybe we should, because the danger of having such a narrow worldview when you learn something, not just engineering per se, but in anything, is that you lack the broad mindset required to decide on the way forward. For example, you lack the ability to weigh the pros and cons of
Yeah.
your decision. So This is why I always tell my kids to be friends with as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I personally, for me, I think I benefit with it a lot lah,
Mm.
in terms of just socializing with different types of people.
Yeah.
Even in socializing with you itself, I get to see a different worldview of how work is about.
Okay.
Yeah. And did you know actually I found this company on the spot, like on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Like I desperately just I applied for the job.
All right.
Yeah. Applied for the job. I didn't expect any follow up whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I was like quite shocked that I got the call.
I see.
Yeah, I got the call, and it turned out to be one of the best decisions I've made lah.
All right. Thank you. Good to know that. And perhaps useful for you to know that all that was done by the team, my team members.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
They only told me that they found one candidate for internship student that they thought is interesting. So I just told them, okay, you guys decide, and we'll go forward with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm happy that decision was made.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm honestly, sir, I'm learning a lot of things from your team and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
But nanti I'll post my reflections
Okay.
on LinkedIn.
All right.
Okay, but before we move on to the next segment,
Yeah.
I have two more questions to ask you.
Mm.
Okay, who out of all the leaders in the world, regardless if it's politicians or someone from the corporate sector, right? Who do you look up to?
The answer is very easy. Somebody I've consistently read about
Yeah,
or listened when he was alive, and that would be Lee Kuan Yew.
Lee Kuan Yew,
Yeah,
founder of Singapore.
the founding father of Singapore.
Founder. Can see that in your shelves. You have a lot of books from.
Yes,
Kuan
here
Yew.
and at home as well.
What about Lee Kuan Yew is so fascinating that you want to follow, or like you are so invested in his philosophy.
I guess the fact that he was a no-nonsense leader,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't mince his words, and he's always straightforward, whether in his words, his thinking, and his approach to nation building.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what was right, and he was not afraid in following through on his thoughts
Mm-hmm.
through his actions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very easy to dismiss the fact that Singapore's had it easy because they started as a trading post for the British,
Mm-hmm.
so they've had an easy start, and it's easy to dismiss Singapore as being a tiny nation.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it's easier to manage the country, but we can't dismiss the fact that there are other things about Singapore that makes them great as well, and one is the approach to meritocracy,
Mm-hmm.
the approach of getting the best people to do the job, and the expectation that everybody's expected to work hard to get something, and this is a mindset that is really important, whether it's in building a nation or even building a company.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset that you are not entitled for anything, you have to work hard for anything that you want. Yeah.
I see. So even by reading his words and everything, it also carried to your working culture as well.
Hopefully
Hopefully.
that's what I aspire to be. Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Alright, but would I see you in politics one day?
I don't think so. As of now, I have zero ambition.
Tak apa, nanti kalau nak cakap pasal politik ni kita masuk kelas kejap lah.
Yeah, maybe. That would be great.
Yeah. Okay, we'll end the segment with another question.
Okay.
This is the last question. If you were a superhero,
Okay.
who would you be?
Superhero.
Yeah.
I only have one favorite character, and that's Iron Man, Tony Stark. Why do you guys laugh at that? I mean, what's funny about it?
No. The thing is, we had a discussion with Wafa and Sharao,
Okay.
and they were like, I was just asking them what questions you want to ask the Fairuz,
Okay.
and then they were asking, and then they told me, ask this question, like, if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Okay.
And then they said, the way that you are is like Iron Man.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, a few people in my previous company did tell me that I look like Tony Stark.
Really?
So I don't know.
No, maybe you don't. I mean, maybe there is a bit of charm there, lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I like the fact that he was an inventor.
Yeah.
He has a bit of a crazy streak in his
Yeah.
him. Don't care attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that charisma in him.
Yeah, that's my name.
Yeah.
The inventor personality.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you do act like him, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for sharing about your worldview, your upbringing.
Alright.
It's really interesting that, you came from a small town from Terengganu, and now you're up here doing a lot of amazing things.
Thank you.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the next segment later, where we talk about EXS Synergy startup, where we talk about Fairuz's journey in creating a startup. All right? Let's do it in the next episode. Not the next episode, the next segment.
Okay.
Right, see you then. Right, hello and welcome back to What Now Jom Lepak with me, Fairuz, in our first episode of the season. Yes. Actually, I'm still feeling that surreal feeling that you're still on the first episode.
Still on the first episode?
Yeah, because originally I planned to do another episode with you.
Alright.
But that was like later in the year.
I see.
But I was like, you know what, let's just test it out because
Okay.
Alang dah suggest, kita buat terus lah.
Can.
Yeah. But it's fine. Okay, so tadi kita dah dengar lah pasal latar belakang Fairuz. Okay, dia membesar di Terengganu, dia belajar apa ni? Di Kisas, is it?
SAS.
Oh, SAS.
Sekolah Alam Shah.
Sekolah Alam Shah.
Seras.
And then dia belajar di Universiti menendang.
Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Malaysia's premier engineering school.
Yep. And how he barely, not barely, but he
Barely passed.
Barely
Yeah.
passed. But he did, he did flourish afterwards. You got an IR, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I did not maintain.
Like, why? Huh? Is it?
I was working in a multinational company as a project manager, and I decided to furnish my technical credentials. So I went and did my professional engineering that allowed me to use the title IR in Malaysia. I also managed to get the Chartered Engineering status from the UK Engineering Council.
Oh, wow.
As well as the Chartered Marine Engineer. And I also sat for the Project Management Professional exam, PMP, and got myself approved PMP or certified PMP.
Wow.
But I never renewed any of them because at that point I just started the business and I was so consumed with building the business. Yeah.
I see. Is there any benefits of getting IR once you were? Did you see any benefits?
Definitely. For one, it gives you the, it's better authority to talk about engineering. But in terms of doing business, there are some licenses like engineering companies having to have a professional engineer on board, either as a owner or as a director.
Yeah. When will I be seeing you getting a CEO title?
CEO?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, you are a managing director, right?
Okay, well, I can use any title I want. I can use whatever, chief cook or something.
Wow, that's Fairuz for you, a chief cook. Okay, tak apa. So the second part here, we're going to talk about EXS Synergy lah, which is your brainchild.
Not me, but not just me. It's a collective effort between me and my partners. Yeah.
Okay, faham. We're gonna talk about. So we just actually had our town hall meeting
This morning, yes.
Yeah. And again, very inspiring speech from Fairuz.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very speech. And I think this is a very good question. Starting off this session.
Okay.
Which is, what is the highlight of this year? What would you want to tell the audience? What is the highlight of EXS Synergy of this year?
I see. I guess there are several highlights. In terms of business, that would be breaking through the data center industry. As a company primarily involved in oil and gas, the ability to break through or diversify from our traditional sector and move into a totally new sector like data center, which is a growing sector, by the way, is something that I'm very proud of. And everything was done primarily by the team members. They worked hard, they identified the prospect, they chased the prospect, and finally managed to secure the prospect. So that's one. Secondly is to see the growth of our southern office. We put our one of our staff in charge, and this happened by chance because she had to relocate to Johor Bahru to follow her husband. And we had to think of a way to accommodate her personal situation because we don't want to lose her. So we tried a business role for her, something that is totally new, because she's been a technical person all her career, and she did really well. She's growing the market. She's brought a number of strategic contracts to EXS in 2023. Including breaking through the Australian market for the first time.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And for me, these are what keeps me going. I'm buoyed by the Malaysia Boleh Spirit. All this one. I think that Malaysians are capable in a lot of things. It's just that we need the opportunity to grow. And I've always known that Australia is a terribly difficult market to penetrate. And the fact that we managed to do so with our first project that later culminated in second contract with a different Australian client is something that is really the highlight of this year for me.
How do you see this business? Because what I see is that you have little manpower, but you have very big ambition.
Okay. That can't be good, right? That puts additional pressure on everybody in the team, not just myself, but mostly to the rest of the team members. I guess I also have to learn to pace myself, to be more realistic with my ambition, and to realize that we have to grow within our means, but that doesn't stop us from being more ambitious.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So reflecting back on your time, in EXS, right?
Yeah.
What is the most memorable moment that you had with everybody, and also your greatest achievement aside from the Australian market and the town hall? Like, what do you think was the most memorable and the greatest achievement you have achieved?
The significant achievement was probably the major failures that we had, major setbacks. We had some major failures. One of it was the loss of our technical partner, because when we first started the business, it was with a few friends, and we had some difficulty with one of them. And we had to look for a replacement, and when that replacement also turned out to be problematic, that was another failure. So for me, the learning opportunities that came from facing all these failures, that has been the highlight of my GSS journey so far.
I see.
Yeah.
What about intellects?
Intellects is definitely something that I'm really proud of. It's a collective brainchild of the team. We were stuck with doing things the manual way for many years, and we thought to ourselves, hey, why not try to digitalize this? At first, it was just an effort at digitizing, but when we started doing it, we realized that with the experience and knowledge that we have, residing within the company, we have an opportunity to do something bigger, something more meaningful. So we tried to do it, and So it happens we were presented with a fantastic opportunity to work with the Thailand's national oil company to develop the software, because at that time they were looking for this for something similar. So I guess that's how that's
The story of intellect.
that's how I mean rezeki Allah.
There's a lot, yeah.
You put a niyat in something, and then if it's meant to be, it will be east for you.
Betul.
And that's what happened in our case, because we managed to secure the contract with this particular Thai client during the height of COVID. So everything was done online. Everything was done remotely.
Remotely.
Yes.
That must be difficult, no?
It wasn't easy, definitely, and we were blessed to have some very competent people in house, and since then we have made great strides in intellects, and we have secured a number of world-class clients.
Wow.
Into our stable.
I see. Actually, while we're talking about your achievement and everything, I think we kind of forgot to add in what is EXS Synergy sebenarnya.
You mean the meaning of EXS Synergy?
Yeah, EXS Synergy.
At that time, we thought that EXS is a good name.
Yeah.
It stood for EX Specialist.
Yeah.
Or ex-SBM. SBM was this MNC company that
MNC
we all
company,
work for.
Yeah.
But we now realize that the name is quite difficult to pronounce. We should have settled on something
something more simpler.
Yeah, something simpler. But I think we've built a brand, and
people know you guys
yes.
as EXS Synergy. Yeah. I promoted to my friends, and then they'd be like, "That's a pretty cool company."
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like your tagline. We take care of
We
your
take
ex.
care of your
Who made that up?
Alright.
Did you make that up?
I can't remember. I think it was one of us.
One of us.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just the face of the company. I didn't do anything.
Oh, really? Well, if you guys are heartbroken, EXS Synergy is the place. Kidding. But actually, let's actually go into EXS Synergy, the origin of the company, right?
Okay.
So like, what I understand from EXS, right? EXS is a explosive maintenance and inspection company.
Okay.
Right. It's mainly in oil and gas.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you want to walk us through a bit about what the EX field is like?
Okay. The reason why EX is a requirement in oil and gas is one thing that's always present in oil and gas facility is the hydrocarbon, whether they are in the form liquid or gas. When they are in gaseous form, it creates a highly flammable environment. And even though the facilities are contained, all the pipes, valves, and fittings are there to make sure that the gas and liquid are kept in place. There's always a risk of leakage. So imagine just a tiny seepage of gas from a leaking valve, for example, and it only takes one small spark to start an explosion. So this is why the explosion safety in oil and gas facilities are a key focus in our industry. But it would be interesting for you to know that other than gas, hydrocarbon gas, another highly explosive element is actually dust. And it can be any type of dust, whether dust coming from furniture industry, manufacturing of furniture, or even clothing, or even sugar factory, where there's high concentration of dust. And dust is actually a worse or a more dangerous flammable environment, because one small spark can generate series of bigger sparks in a dust environment.
I see.
So what we do as a company is we provide the service that minimize the risk of explosion from happening. So now in oil and gas sector, but as we expand our service and the field becomes more regulated, we have better safety for our industry, then the requirement will also be present in other industries closer to us. Yeah.
Well, why did you make a company or a business at a niche market?
I've always wanted to start my own business. I know I started as an engineer, But I was lucky to have found a mentor in my previous company who saw my talent and offered me a position within the business development team. So I did business development for this company, covering the whole of Asia, and this included countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, Vietnam, and even Myanmar. And coming from a technical background and moving into something totally different, which is business development, a lot of commercial, a lot of strategy, I discovered that my passion is actually in business. Yeah. So I wanted to prove to myself that I can start something and I can grow something. And the burning desire then was to prove that Malaysians can
Do something better.
do something better and can actually succeed beyond Malaysian market. Yeah, that is what's driving me even until more.
You know what I find interesting about you, Fairuz, is that you started off with a low GPA,
Okay.
and then you were able to quickly climb up the MNC ladder, or the corporate ladder,
alright.
and then now you just 360 jump out, and
Okay.
then do a business, and I have to say it's doing very well.
Thank you.
And like, how confident are you, man, to like do all these things?
I guess I've also been blessed by good mentors throughout my career. I've had good support from my family, and having a good mentor, strong mentor, is really important. And I'm not saying that you should dismiss your studies. Studies are important because even more so now where there are more competition in the market, it's very important for you to make sure that you score the best that you can in your studies. But in my case, what I have experienced is, I believe that my passion, interest in other
Areas.
non-technical areas actually help contribute me to become the person I am today. And one very important criteria to be noticed is having a good attitude and character. The ability to mix with a different work
Variety.
environment, tackle different kind of people. All this will help carry you further than you imagine. Yeah.
I see. No respect, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like apa ni, it's quite fascinating that you're so confident that you can move up very quickly, and then doing this company itself. Now I know you didn't do it from scratch by yourself, but you had other people to help you around.
Yes, I had good partners, good staff.
Good stuff and everything. And I think I feel like macam, I think great things happens when we do things together.
Correct.
When I feel like doing something collectively with people really helps make the journey more interesting.
Correct.
And also more effective.
Yes.
From
Definitely.
definitely. And added with good mentors.
Yes. Having a good mentor is something that is really, really important, especially if you want to accelerate your development. Because yes, we learn from our mistakes, but we also want to minimize those mistakes. So the best thing is to learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
So having a good mentor, somebody who has been through the same journey, who's probably committed far worse mistakes than you have. So all this will help you accelerate your development.
Yeah, definitely. I think it has some share of comfort, like knowing that that your mentor has gone through the same experience that you have had.
Yeah.
Do you have a mentor right now? Like,
Yes, I do.
oh really?
Yeah.
Is it someone in the company, or is it someone
No.
like somewhere else?
Somewhere outside.
I mean, I don't know. Do you believe that we should always have mentors in every stage of life?
I think I believe something like that. Yeah. It doesn't have to be somebody fixed to your situation or somebody within your age group, because my own mentor is many years more senior than me, and but it definitely helps if you have mentor in every stage of your life. And another mindset that I adopt is you always everything is a teachable moment.
Yeah.
Everything you can learn from anything, and whenever I meet somebody new, regardless of where they are in life, I always look at the person as somebody I can learn from. So um, you can always learn from whoever you encounter with your everyday life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think this slides onto the very interesting question, right? Which
Okay.
is about women empowerment.
Okay.
You just went to a women empowerment event, right?
Yes.
2 days ago, was it?
That was last week.
Last week. Last week was with Nurul was there.
Yeah, Nuruliza was the VIP, delivering the keynote address. Yeah.
What do you think of her speech? Because I feel like, I don't know. The last time I heard her speech was during Economic Youth Forum. She gave a lot of technical terms.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if it's the same. Is it the same with you?
Her speech was written by somebody in the committee, but I later found out that she only took very small parts of it, and she actually put in more of her own thoughts into the speech, which made me realize that she really cares. She takes great effort at injecting her own thoughts into whatever that she's invited to
talk
about. Yeah. So it's not just about reading a speech prepared by somebody else. And she's a super eloquent speaker. I mean, I was mesmerized by the way she spoke.
Wow.
She definitely speaks better than her father.
All right.
Very fluent, very eloquent, and with full confidence in her delivery. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's really nice to see that. I mean, even though she's out of vacancy, she's still doing something happening. Yeah. She still has a composer.
And she was obviously a celebrity. Everybody wanted to take selfies with her.
Yeah.
She has that star power.
Did you get?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because the next question I'm going to ask you is about women representation in the company. Because when I first entered EXS, I think that was in September. I observed there was a lot of female board members.
Okay.
And based on your LinkedIn, it says here that EXS has 65% women board representation.
Yep.
So, and you understand as well that women in STEM or women in engineering getting a job is very difficult.
I don't quite agree with that notion.
All right.
Yeah.
We might have that a little bit, but like, what value do you see in women in your company?
Okay. First of all, I wanted to add a bit more.
Sure.
It's not just board representation that we are 65% female. In terms of employee, we are now 61% female employee. We never set out to be a female company. But one value that I've always tried to impart in this company is meritocracy, going for the best person for the particular job. And somehow we ended up with more female.
More female than male.
Yes. What was the question again?
Well, what value do you see in women engineers?
I don't really look at it as male versus female or men versus women. I am a true believer in diversity. I expect my team to be diverse, to come with a different opinion, to have been brought up in different kind of environments, because I believe that this diversity in teams will help create a more dynamic environment where no idea is considered stupid ideas.
Ideas are meant to be discussed.
Ideas are celebrated. Differences of opinions are celebrated. In fact, I expect my team members to say no to me if they think they have a better idea. So I believe that having diversity in your team will foster this kind of environment. I'm still not happy with our composition right now. I don't really look at it as male female. I would want to have more diversity in terms of racial diversity in our team as well.
The Malaysia body spirit lah.
Yes, or even non-Malaysian.
Non-Malaysian.
Yep. I'm always looking to inject differences in the team.
Mm-hmm.
Provided, but the important thing is that everybody must be moving in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fast paced,
Yeah.
dynamic,
Yeah.
able to adapt.
What?
Mm-hmm. That's what I can see in the EXS as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean like once I've entered EXS, the first thing I know that is an SME, right? And I know SMEs, you within a day you'll be given 3-4 jobs
No. Okay.
to just do. And I think one of the things that I learned the most here
Okay.
is that you have to be very dynamic, very dynamic.
Yeah.
And with the diverse opinions of others, I've learned a lot from the people that like it's very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay lah. Apa ni? Of course, I want to talk about a lot more about female representation in STEM.
Okay.
But I feel like it's more suited for fun lah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess the best philosophy about female empowerment that I look up to is those held by Tan Sri Rafida Aziz.
The first banker. Isn't it?
No, she was our Minister of Trade.
Okay, yeah.
One of the longest serving minister in the cabinet. She never sees female as or rather, she's not a believer in giving a job to a female just because they are female. And she doesn't believe in any quota that 30% board representation
Should be female.
She doesn't believe in all those things, but rather she wants female to be recognized for being who they are,
I see.
for their strengths and their merits, rather than just being female. And I think that's a distinction that we have to focus on, to make sure that we don't fall into the trap of giving something just because it's fashionable to do so, or just because it's there's a quota there. I don't believe that.
Again.
Yeah.
Faham. Alright. Wow. Makes me want to do an episode with Fern now.
Okay.
Tapi tak apa. We'll move on to the next segment about EXS in the energy industry. Okay, so that was a little bit about EXS startup.
Yeah.
And a little bit of female representation inside this inside that segment. So let's tune into the next part where we talk about EXS Synergy in the energy transition industry. Alright.
Alright.
Hello and welcome to another episode of that's already the intro. Silap. So this is a new format, so we're still getting used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, but no worries. Right, so welcome to the episode. Welcome to the first episode of the season. Right, so we just talked about Fairuz's background and also EXS startup.
Okay.
Okay. So now we want to move into the most anticipated part of the segment, which is EXS energy transition into the energy industry.
Okay.
Yeah. These questions are quite last minute. When I was listening to your speech during the town hall,
Okay.
I was like, all right, let me think of really interesting questions to
Okay.
spice the conversation up.
Alright.
Yeah. So since you are into a bit of politics, a bit of here and there, right? I think it's really interesting how we navigate through this conversation. Okay. So let's start with the first question here. Okay. So macam EXS is already in the oil and gas industry.
Correct.
Okay. So macam, and then I think 2015 during the Paris Accords, yeah, that's when countries all around the world signed and nak terus ke renewable energy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know the trend was there. Okay. So like as a company, was it easy for you to shift to the energy industry?
You mean from oil and gas
Yeah.
to renewable energy?
Yeah. Did it hurt your business in some way?
It's not an easy transition. In fact, we are still very much in the attempting to migrate or to transition into renewable energy. As a business, we have to be responsible to ourselves, our staff, and our shareholders to ensure that the business can survive whatever trends come in. And this includes moving into energy transition. Obviously, being who we are, a technical company, we believe in our ability to adjust our approach and our skill sets to make sure that we can offer something relevant to the market. And in our case, we are lucky to have a strong partner in Agrico, who has in their arsenal two very interesting renewable energy solution. The first one is something that we have been talking about strongly in the market for the past 2 years, and that's flare to power.
Flare to power.
And what we do with flare to power is Malaysia is has a very serious flaring issue. We flare a lot of gases into the environment, and we are actually number 2 in Asia when it comes to the highest flare emitter. But another way of looking at this is actually a golden opportunity for us to turn the table around, to quickly address or combat the dangers of flaring to the environment. And our solution entails taking the flare gas before they are burned off, feed it into our generator, and use it to generate power. Because we have a solution that can capture and generate or can work with a broader range of gas. Rather than just the sweet gas, we can actually do or deal with gases with higher CO2 and lower methane content required to generate electricity. And this is a proven technology that has been deployed in countries like Iraq, Thailand, and Indonesia. What we are aiming is to deploy our first flare-to-power solution in Malaysia in 2024. And we believe we are confident that we can achieve this based on our efforts so far and the feedback from the market. Yeah. And this is something that really excites me, because here we have an ability to use our business to effect meaningful change in the environment. Yeah.
I mean, knowing that climate change is, we're kind of near the deadline, are we?
Yeah.
2030.
Correct.
That's Malaysia's target, right?
Malaysia's target is to reduce methane emission by 2030, or zero rise methane emission by 2030.
Yeah.
Going net zero in carbon emission by 2050.
2050.
Yes.
We're kind of near the deadline already. 2030.
Correct.
Yeah. Tapi before we move on to flare to power, just off a tangent just a bit. So, from a business standpoint, right? How do we navigate ourselves talking about climate change, talking about renewable energy, right? Because I feel like there's always a lot of talks about it, but most people on the ground don't have that effective discourse lah.
Correct.
So like, how would you navigate this type of?
It's not an easy conversation or even a business decision, because I've been fortunate enough to attend some of the briefings by the Energy Industries Council. They are based in UK, responsible for promoting trade among UK companies worldwide, and they have done a study on renewable energy projects worldwide. And what's surprising to learn from them is, even though there's been slew of news on renewable energy projects being sanctioned, but in terms of the final investment decision, FIDs, less than 2% of these projects have been FID'd, which indicates that the
demand,
not demand, the news are all there, but it's not backed by actionable effort from the operators themselves. Because when you look at the announcement and the ensuing FIDs, the numbers do not match. So little of the announcement actually made it into FIDs, into actual projects. Because when you don't get FID, you don't get the capital required to execute those projects, which means that it's a no-go. And compare that to a more than 50% approval rate or FID rate for hydrocarbon projects, still happening now. So as a business owner, you have to go where the money is. You takkan you nak pergi dekat tempat yang you tahu tak ada duit.
Tak ada profit kan?
Yes.
Betul.
We are after all a business entity. So these are some of the things that you have to balance within your portfolio. And another challenging part is if you compare hydrocarbon projects and renewable projects, and this is something that was mentioned by Petronas president himself. You can get a higher return on investment from hydrocarbon projects as opposed to renewable. Maybe
Oh.
you can get something in the mid-teens for hydrocarbon, if not more. But you are looking at less than 5% ROI for renewable projects. So if you are a responsible business, you have to deliver dividends to your shareholder, in this case the Malaysian government. How do you balance your portfolio? How do you balance your effort? Which projects do you go for? And not to mention the difficulty of getting support from financing,
Yeah.
from banks, if
Bank.
they know that your business will not generate the desired returns. Yeah.
Like one of the things about this industry itself is about how do we gain profit from it?
Correct.
Because for sure, renewable energy, it's hard to gain profit from it.
Yeah. One thing that was surprising to me that I learned about several weeks ago attending another briefing is among the renewable energy areas, one of the most profitable where there's a lot of demand but really low supply is sustainable aviation fuel, SAF.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because one of the biggest form of polluter is the airplanes with their jet fuel.
Yeah.
So one thing that's being developed right now is a sustainable aviation fuel, a fuel which is developed from sustainable sources. And I think Sarawak is doing something similar with their algae SAF. But in terms of volume, is nowhere near what's required by the industry. So this is probably one area lucrative enough for those who wants to go into sustainable or renewable energy to go into.
Are you planning going?
No, this is too far from our
Company
our company ID. Yeah. What we are looking at is something that helps with the transition. So flight to power is one of them, because it's not renewable per se, but it's something that helps as we transition from hydrocarbon to renewable.
Right.
One lesson that has been learned by Europeans particularly is you cannot simply migrate from hydrocarbon to renewable straight away.
Right.
There must be a responsible transition in between. So we believe that flight to power is a perfect technology that can
Stretch.
yes, that can help us transition responsibly without losing your production.
I see.
Yeah.
You know what? Interesting about flight to power is that you were able to, talk to Nick Nazmi.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We had a kunjungan hormat
Kunjungan hormat.
to the NRECC minister a few months back.
Yeah, a few months back, and I'm pretty sure you took the opportunity to talk.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Nick Nazmi think about it? And what was the outcome from the discussion?
I think YB Minister Nick Nazmi is one very smart person who was able to immediately understand the intricacies of what we presented to him. Even though this was new to him, he was able to quickly understand what it was all about, and he understood the even the application side of flight to power and how this can help our country transition to renewable. So that was my impression on Nick Nazmi. Yeah.
I see. So you think that by presenting that paper to him, do you think you will get support from that minister?
It's always good to get FaceTime with a minister, particularly somebody as invested as Nick Nazmi is. But we believe that the journey will be a long one, because there are many ministries to navigate.
Definitely, yeah.
And not to mention the movement of these ministers. Just last week we learned that there was a cabinet reshuffle and Nick Nazmi will no longer hold the energy portfolio.
It's Fadila Yusof.
Yes.
I find that a bit weird, but I'll accept it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Nick Nazmi is doing a good job.
I agree. He was able to deliver some significant wins for the government in terms of coming up with the policy, the National Energy Transition Roadmap.
Yeah.
It was announced by Minister of Economy. I believe that NRCC had a big hand in formulating the policy, the roadmap.
I mean, I understand that. I think out of all the ministries, the climate change ministry or the natural resources and sustainability mainstream is a very difficult one to navigate.
Correct.
And also communicate people on the ground.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from a business point of view, do you think he's doing okay? Like, meaning you feel like you benefit a lot from having him as...
Definitely, we it's useful to have somebody to champion our cause, to have a supporter within the government, and we hope that our short visit has helped us
move forward.
move in this direction.
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah.
I really hope that Faith Power can, be executed. Is it in the execution phase now, or is it like...
It's still in. It's not ideation. We are trying to talk to some stakeholders to get the first
launch?
deployment movie.
Okay.
That's why I was in Sabah recently.
So you can put it in Sabah first lah.
Hopefully, because Sabah is one state in Malaysia with a really critical power problem. Yeah, and we believe that flat to power technology can help Sabahans improve their power situation.
Like, the energy there in Sabah isn't much, is it?
They have a critical shortage of power. Well, even when I was there in my previous trip, I was having a meeting with my counterpart, and there was a power trip that happened as we were having that meeting. Yeah, and again, it happened when I was in my hotel room twice
Recently?
during the same trip. Not this recent
Oh,
trip,
the other trip.
previous
Okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah,
I see. So you're really confident now for next year that...
inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. We've worked hard in the past 2 years to promote and market the technology, the solution. Yeah.
Right. I mean, Qaim has done a bit about
Yeah. And
TikTok.
yeah.
That's quite interesting. But honestly, an idea is an idea, but then the important part is the execution.
Correct.
Yeah. So hopefully, Flat to Power can push for more or it could be an ignition lah
Yes.
for renewable energies in Malaysia.
Correct. Because for sustainable energy solution in our portfolio, flat to power is one. We are also working on the other solution called battery storage.
Battery storage.
Yeah, this is a more straightforward solution where it is used together with a solar plant. And we believe that our solution can help solar plant operators in being more energy efficient.
Faham. I feel like I think I was actually listening to Keluar sekejap.
Yeah.
Back to back episode actually, yesterday and today.
Okay.
Ironically, it was all about renewable energy and climate change. I think Malaysia is a good potential for solar energy,
Yes.
but we have a problem when it comes to having the effective amount of sunlight coming in.
That's what I understand as well.
Yeah. So, based on this project, I assume this could help the transferring all the energy with the batteries and everything.
This is where we come in with our battery storage solution. We work with two solution provider, one from Scotland, the other one from Italy. And what it does is with solar power, you get solar in the day, but
In the night.
at night when there's no sun, the solar plant cannot generate power anymore.
Yeah.
So this is where the battery storage comes in, because the battery will be recharged during the day when there's sun, and it will be used as a battery supply during the night.
During the night.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's another portfolio that you're also
Yes.
looking forward to as well.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll touch upon it once we actually see it happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Tapi tak apa, maybe that we can see another part 2 with Fairuz.
Inshallah.
Alright. Tapi I think you kind of answered this question previously, but I think I'll just say it anyways.
Okay.
So during COP28, which is with the recent COP event. So if you guys don't know what COP is basically like a UN convention lah.
Conference of Parties.
Yes, conference of parties where all nations come and talk about climate change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the simplest way to say it lah. So there has been a debate about phase down and phase out approach.
Okay.
Yeah, so do you know what phase out, phase down approach is?
I'm not that familiar. but I've been following COP 28 discussion. Yeah.
So like the basically phase out is basically you transition completely from oil and gas,
Okay.
and phase down is basically so phase out you completely go out, meaning you don't rely on oil and gas anymore.
So phase down is.
And phase down is basically you slowly transition.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the debate that's been happening.
All right.
Yeah. So, do you have any opinion on it?
I'm definitely in the phase down.
Phase down approach.
Yeah. Because even with coal has started longer than oil has been. And even with the advent of oil and its usage, we still see coal power plants being used even until now. Because at the end of the day, everything boils down to economics. If you can somehow, let's take hydrogen for example. Hydrogen is considered to be the next fuel for renewable energy. But until they have sorted out the commercial problems of hydrogen, because hydrogen right now depends on which hydrogen we're talking about.
Yeah.
But the cost of production is extremely high. It's just not economical to transition into hydrogen. Solar has its own problems. Wind has its own problems. So at the end of the day, oil is still considered the most stable source of energy.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about electric cars. There's a lot of EVs now. There's a focus on EVs. But even with EV, the manufacturing of batteries and the disposal of those batteries is also a huge source of pollution that nobody's willing to talk about.
Yes.
So you have to look at the net effect of all this technology, and until you solve that problem, you and oil continues to be found, easily produced. It will be very difficult for you to migrate. And even the president of COP 28, Sultan Al-Jaber himself, stated in a public speech before COP 28 that he doesn't think the targets are realistic.
It's very ambitious.
It's too ambitious.
I see.
Yeah. And I think pretty soon, I'm not sure which COP it will be, 30, 35, 40. Somebody will have to say, look, guys, this is not going to happen.
Somebody has to have the guts lah.
Yeah. I guess that's the word.
But do you think, okay, so I understand of how COP works. So basically, COP is basically a place where we just chat whether or not we're reaching the goals.
Yeah, but chatting does nothing, right?
Yeah?
Chatting does nothing. What they do is, in the course of making COPs happen, just for COP 28, you have all these delegates from all these countries flying their private jets. Bring all the entourages. The carbon impact is even worse than not having COP at all.
Yeah. There is something for world leaders to answer. Yeah. Tapi I think this slides on the next question quite nicely lah.
Okay.
So since you're a Formula One fan,
yeah,
definitely. I'm wearing a Ferrari shirt today.
Well done.
I did my research on this. All right. So we understand that EV. We just said right. Most countries, even Malaysia, wants to move into EV.
Okay.
So do you think there's still a place for combustion engines, naturally aspirated engines, in the near future?
I actually posted something on LinkedIn about 2 years back about this move into EV, transitioning from ICE. When I was visiting the Future Mobility Asia in Bangkok, I saw a lot of EV cars, EV bikes, and I like cars.
Yeah.
I like the sound of engines.
Yeah.
And the fan in me is, I don't want this to end. I hope there's some segment for ICEs which are accessible to maybe some segments in the society. I'm not sure how this will happen.
Yeah.
Because most likely what will happen is ICE will be the purview of the select few, those with the means to spend.
Yeah. I see. So you think in some way you hope?
Yeah, I hope this will happen, but I don't know whether there's going to be a reality.
I see.
Yeah. Because it's very difficult to go against commercial consideration. When you think about having an EV, all you do, and if once they improve the range, you park your car at night, you charge, and then somehow it gets 1,000 kilometer range, for example. There's no need for you to fill up petrol. So who doesn't want that? I mean, the commercial consideration alone will push people to migrate totally to EV.
But then I think it's a question of how do we transition to it, right? Because like people will lose their jobs if
the question of people losing jobs because technology has been around for a long time. We always find new economic activity to do. We always find new jobs for people to upskill and reskill. So I don't really look at it in terms of
people losing jobs.
It's about losing sense of who we are, especially things that we are passionate about, things like that.
I see. So talking about cars, what type of engines do you like to listen to?
What type of engine? I appreciate the normally aspirated engines. Yeah.
What about like maybe V10, V8?
I'm not specialized enough to share my view here. But I always like the sound of Porsche. Porsche. Yeah.
Porsche. I see. That's like a V.
No, it's I think it's a boxer engine.
Oh no, again,
like a Subaru.
Okay, yeah. I see. All right, that's nice. I think my favorite has to be a Ferrari lah.
Okay.
Just saying it because I'm wearing a Ferrari shirt. If I wouldn't be wearing a Ferrari shirt, I wouldn't see it.
Okay.
But I think I like the LaFerrari.
You like the what?
The LaFerrari.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know, it's quite interesting. Like, I'm not sure if Ferrari is interested in creating EVs. I don't think so, right?
I don't think they have made any moves there.
Yeah, they're not interested. Yeah.
And one encouraging voice is that Porsche has committed that the 911 will never be made electric.
Really?
Yeah. They will stick to ICE for 911.
I think at the end, I feel like combustion engines has become a part of society now. Meaning like it has that sense of value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you own any cars? Like are you like a car collector?
No, I'm not there yet. I want to be, but not there yet. I own miniature cars, yes.
A bit more easy to collect Right. I know it's been 25 minutes right now, but it's okay. We have one more question, which I think I was really interested to listen to this.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's also a Formula 1 fan.
Oh, okay.
So we all know that Formula 1 is the pinnacle of racing and the center of innovation.
Okay.
And we know that F1's effort is, to be aligned with renewable energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a certain way.
In a certain way, yeah. Do you think that the technology that is done in Formula 1 is translating into, sustainability and renewable technologies and practices?
I think the impact is not linear. What I'm saying is that if you want to compare renewable energy to Formula 1 racing, the right comparison with Formula E, because Formula 1 is still ICE, however you look at it. But there are some advances in Formula 1 that is translating into road car technology that is actually helping towards a better environment. These are moved towards smaller engines, turbocharged engines, which contributes to a more efficient burning in car engines. So these are the kind of and also better aerodynamics. All this, even though the impact is small, but overall it contributes to a more efficient mobility.
Yeah. I see. I mean, I hope that we're able to see that, but I don't. Yeah, well, I mean, Formula 1 has always. I mean, I think we've all in this room, we all know that Formula 1 is not only just the pinnacle of motorsports, but it's the center of innovation.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of companies want to be in Formula 1.
Right.
Yeah. Can we see EXS in Formula 1?
No. That's a long way to go.
Long way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, if we do, that'll be a really cool thing, man.
Yeah.
Get your logo on a Formula One car.
Yeah.
But I mean that should be the side goal lah.
Yeah.
That should be the side goal.
Yeah.
Alright. But lah, like maybe I should bring in somebody who knows about Formula One and talk about how we transition from.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be a good idea.
Yeah. Because I feel like people think Formula One is just racing, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's really testing the limits of technology.
Mm.
Yeah, I think one technology I know that is in use is probably the DAS system.
Oh, okay.
Is it DAS?
No, the curse.
The curse. Curse system. That's been used in many
Kinetic
cars.
energy recovery system.
Yeah. That's been used in many cars.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, what car do you own?
I drive an old
Car.
German car.
German car.
Yeah.
I see where this is going. Not a fan of the team, huh?
No.
Not a fan of the team, not a fan of the company as well. Tak apa, kalau yang tahu je.
YTJT.
YTJT. Okay. Tak apa, I think we've already nak masuk ke penghujung podcast ni. I don't think we need another segment for this.
Okay.
So I think we'll just straightly just jump into it. Alright. Jadi, reflecting back on this conversation and reflecting back on your journey, what have you learned the most out of your experience with your thoughts and collaborating with people? What is the most that you've learned from?
You mean this journey in building EXS?
Yes, and also your journey as a person too.
I think what I have learned the most is the power of collaboration. You cannot get things done by yourself. You need other people to work together with you. Secondly is the power of learning from mistakes. The power of making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. I've changed my attitude and approach towards mistakes. I look at mistakes as building blocks for future success, rather than something that you should punish on. But rather you should learn from it in order to be better. And thirdly is the power of network.
Power of network.
Yeah, you need other people to get ahead in life. You need other people to help you get to where you want to be, and this is where network comes in. Yeah,
definitely. I think as university students, I think that's the best thing to network.
Yes.
Yeah. So like you have the luxury of time.
Correct.
Yeah. Masa kerja ni susah sikit. Tapi that depends on what type of work you
do. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. And then, reflecting back, and also if you were able to turn back time,
Okay.
what advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self.
Yeah.
That would be to meet as many people as possible, to develop your industry network, and to never stop learning.
You never stop learning.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice touch to an episode.
Okay.
And I think this is what our job at Lepak is all about, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
I agree.
Yeah, because I feel like one thing that we want to instill for this podcast is that we want to instill long life learning.
Correct. I saw that in your bio.
Yeah.
Bio for the podcast. Yeah.
So and one of the things that we want to do is that we want to learn from many different people, not just Malaysians.
Not just youth,
Yeah.
because I don't think I qualify.
You look young, what?
Okay.
You look very young, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think if I were to come across you, like if I don't know you who you are, I think you'd be like 30.
I have my secrets.
Oh, really? Maybe we'll share that in another episode. But yeah, like I feel like learning never stops, regardless if you're in university and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great way to end the episode. That always to continue striving further.
Yes.
And to not just be shy, lah.
Yeah.
I think Malaysians are a bit shy, no?
Correct. We are too shy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's stopping us from reaching greater heights, actually.
Yeah. Maybe we need to like slowly soften that shyness to become more wittier, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a really good episode, Fairuz.
Thank you.
And honestly, a very good start of the season.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be invited by you on this program, this podcast, especially looking at your past guests
Yeah.
and hoping to meet some of them also.
Boleh, tak ada masalah.
Maybe we'll do like an alumni thingy.
Oh, and the watch show.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I have not. I have not. Sorry, no, I have not. I've considered doing an award show.
Okay.
For my podcast.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you might. I think all the guests will be nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, well done, Haikal, to you and your partner for creating this program. And I think what you're doing is something that's sorely lacking and really needed in our society. The courage to push through normal convention and talk about uncomfortable stuff. Yeah. This is the only way for us to improve ourselves.
Yeah. I think people. I think one thing that before we just end, we are afraid of confrontation.
Yes.
And I understand that it's a hard thing.
It's not in our nature.
It's not in nature, yeah. Tapi nak tak nak kena juga.
Yeah.
Kena confront walaupun you're takut.
Yeah.
So by the end, the truth prevails.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we should. And I think kalau boleh kita jangan takut lah. Jangan takut pada Tuhan je. Gitu. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
That's a very nice touch to an ending for the first episode. Right. Thank you, Fairuz.
Thank you,
before we end, you want to promote where we can follow EXS Synergy?
You can follow us on our LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have one or two of our TikTok stars here.
Yeah.
Qayyim and Anis.
Yeah. Anis is doing her work right now.
Yeah.
But Qayyim is helping us behind the camera. And Fairuz.
TikTok star atau?
Who?
You're one of the TikTok stars juga.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything.
I mean, you have the videos on the TikTok.
Yeah ke?
Which means you are one of
Oh,
the
okay,
stars.
alright.
Okay, no. Actually, lepas podcast ni disiarkan,
Yeah.
nanti
Okay.
Nanti lagi ramai.
lagi ramai ni Fairuz ni. Boleh claim lah di bos aku.
Especially that old Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
You let the cat out the bag.
Okay, tak apa. Okay, and you can follow What Are Jaman Lepak on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. We don't have Twitter. We don't have enough manpower for that. And you can also listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, and also Apple Podcasts. Yeah. And with that said, thank you for listening to the first episode, and we'll see you in the next. Bye-bye.